Okay, on the job information screen, first of all, I want to clarify one thing. This is not something you have to enter every time you want to write a sales order, an estimate, or anything like that. The job information screen is primarily used, number one, if you're in the door and hardware industry and you want to create door and hardware schedules. Then you'll need to enter job information because that will be needed for these schedules. The other reason we would use job information is if you have a large project. Let's say you're under a contract for a certain amount of money. You'll want to come in and you can create that job information here, and it helps where you can keep track of on your sales orders the total amount that's written against that contract. And we'll get into that just a bit, but first of all I want to step through how to fill out the form. The first part is pretty self-explanatory. If you have a new project, then you'll come down here and just start entering the job name, the address, city, state, whether or not it's taxable, etc. And then over here you'll select, if you have an architect, you want to enter the architect's information. You select the customer, that's the customer that's doing the project, and then the salesperson. So just to simplify this, let's go ahead and I'm going to select an existing project that's already in here. So you can see information has been filled in. You can mark these as active, inactive, etc., so that they don't show up in the list anymore. You would do that by selecting this. If you wanted to make this project inactive, you would simply change this and then save it, and that way it will no longer show up in the list as active projects. Okay, so once we get all this filled in, we want to come over to the account information, and this is where you'll enter the contract total. So right here at the top is the original contract amount, and you can see on this project the original contract was for $20,000. If there's any shipping, other amounts, or sales tax, you would enter it, and that would give you your total. You have this button here that says show totals only for this job. And what this will do is every time you write a sales order, if this button is checked and I save this project, then every time I write a sales order, then on the customer's copy it will not show pricing for itemized items. It will only show the total at the bottom of the invoice. So some customers prefer that, so that's strictly up to you. If you want all the pricing to show for each individual item, leave that unchecked. Okay, so once you get your contract information entered here, you'll click Save, and that'll save that contract amount. This section is where you'll keep track of any change orders. So you have your change order number, customer's change order number, whether or not it's been approved, who approved it, and this is your customer's approval, and the date of the approval, the change order subtotal, shipping, other amounts, sales tax, and total. And you'll enter any change orders here, click Save, and they'll be added to the list. So you can see we already have 2 change orders on this project. And here you see change order type, it says hollow metal. If this is filled in, then that means that these change orders were generated right here through these change order buttons. And I won't get into creating change orders right now, but change orders are very similar, if almost identical, to estimates. So there's separate videos on how to fill that in. Okay, so let's say we have a new change order. So we come in here, you'll notice I can't type anything in this first box. That's because this number is going to be automatically generated by the program. So it'll look at whatever the current change order numbers are and then automatically generate the next number. So I don't have to worry about that, we'll leave it blank. Right here I want to enter my customer's change order number. So let's say their number is 12 or whatever it might be. Let's say this is a new change order, it has not even been approved yet, so I'll leave this blank. And for the total, let's say this was for $600 and maybe shipping was $75. And sales tax is taxable in Ohio, so let's say 675.075. So that's $45.56 in sales tax. So that gives a total of $720.56. Now when I click save, it's going to add it to the list here. But the first thing I want to show you is down here, this section, this is for approved change orders. So you can see right now we only have one that's been approved. That's this total for $2,705.58. So that's at $2,705.58. Over here is the total of the original contract amount plus any approved change orders. So you can see we got $22,705.58 as a total. So when I click save, it's going to add this to the list. So we have change order number 3. This amount did not change because this change order has not been approved yet. You can see under change order type, it's blank, and that's because I filled in the change order here. The other option would be to create an actual change order that I could send to the customer through these two buttons here. So I'll show you what happens if, let's say this change order number 2 has been approved. So we need to add this to the list as approved change orders. If I double click this to bring it up here to edit it, it tells me I need to open the change order number 2 to make any changes. And that's because this change order was generated using this form here. So if you come under search change orders, job name was Woodward. And there's change order number 2. If I double click this, that will open this change order. And I need to come in here into this form and then do the approval. So you can see there's I check this box. Customer's change order number, say it was 15, approved by Bob Roberts. Sounds like a good name. And the approval date, let's say was 2/. Okay, so this change order has been approved. If I look over here under product information, there's the total. And if I look under hollow metal, there's all the items that have been approved. So this change order has been approved. So I'll save this. You will not see that. This is my production system. Let's see, we need to come in here and disable those so we can get back to the form. Okay, change order number 2 has been saved. We'll say okay. We can close this now. If I come back into the job information form, you can see this amount still has not changed. That's because this form did not automatically update just because I saved the other form. So I can do one of two things. I can come under job details, click this drop down and just reselect the job. And now if I come back over, you can see the amounts have been updated. So now this change order has been approved. So now we have a new total. And again, this is nice if you're, it helps you to track sales orders that you've written against this job. So I'm not sure if I have any sales orders on this. Let's do a quick search here. So to Woodward High School. Let's see if there's any invoiced. Okay, there's one sales order that has already been invoiced. I'll just open that one up. And where this comes in handy, if you look under product information, this box down here shows me what that total contract amount is with the approved change orders, $23,556.72. It tells me I've written a total orders of $3,390.08, which happens to be this amount here because there's only one sales order written. This will keep track. This will tell me what the balance is to invoice. So this comes in real handy if I want to track where I'm at on a particular project to make sure I don't over invoice, and more importantly, to make sure I don't under invoice and leave money out there that never gets collected. So this will always be there to let me know if I've got any money left I need to invoice on this project. Okay, so come back over to job information. That's pretty much what you do with job information. Now, like I said, I was not able to edit this because it tells me I need to open the actual change order. This one, it's blank. If I double click it, you can see it comes up. This one I can make changes in this form. And this is where I would make approvals. So if this one does get approved, let's say this is Roberts again. And the approval date. Now when I save this will get updated because on this form it does the update automatically. So you can see now I've got a total that's changed down here. It changed my contract amount. And again, this is real handy when you want to keep track of particular jobs and when you're invoicing, and again, also if you create door and hardware schedules. So I believe that pretty well covers it on the job information form. Thank you.